This is a little different than normal. This is a lone ops round on survival on Saltern. This is his current loadout. He bought a C20. He bought a Hyperzine syringe. I don't know why it shows as empty. It is definitely not empty. Spectator stuff. Bought some medical supplies. What is not featured here is that I was heavily encouraging him to buy the raid suit, but you don't want to buy the raid suit in space, so he ends up buying that later. Also, before he even leaves the ship, which I wasn't even aware of when I was watching this, a initial infected started before he even left. Hour and 29 minutes in, our lone operative here is deciding to try to get some all access by bombing into the captain's bedroom. I don't know if you want to call this power gaming or preemptive hiding of the ID, but putting the ID in his bathroom actually made it even easier to lose all access. So sometimes your efforts of protecting your additional cards does not work out. So the lone op immediately has gotten all access, using that to strict advantage, wasting 0 time to shoot an officer who had basically no time to react, grabbing their extra gun. Something that is always crazy about lizards in combat is that they can have their guns wielded and drag people at the same time. And I've seen a lot of people say, like, that's not a combat advantage, but it's like no other species can have full accuracy or have 2 weapons out at the same time and still be able to drag someone away. Lone op wastes absolutely no time mag dumping them with the fallen officer's droids. So immediately, it's not like the captain knew there was lone ops. No one said anything about it. The only person who could have said anything about it was killed immediately. So the captain didn't do anything wrong by checking here. You're going to keep hearing the sound of people getting infected this entire time. This is a pretty chaotic end to a survival round. But again here, captain getting dragged away, lost her antique laser pistol. The nuke disc has already been secured, the lone op already has all access, and they haven't even purchased their raid suit yet, so they're not even at their peak of tankiness. I don't know what the fuck this is. This has to be some, like, admin event thing. Like, if this is in-game naturally, I've never seen it before. I don't know what that is. It's fucking scary, though. It's so rough that these officers here are getting cornered by zombies, getting shot at through the windows by a lone op with infinite ammo. Not a good day to be security, or a great day to be security, depending on how you like your chaos levels. Also, just, like, the whole fucking station is just covered in lube. Like, I never even directly saw this. And also, by the way, this laser raptor died earlier in the shift from a grand lottery, but they kept it around, revived it, and gave it cognizine. And this is where I learned that laser raptors actually can shoot if cognizine. So the more you know. I can't say I've ever seen a sentient laser raptor. There's some wild shots going through the glass, not hitting anyone. There's no one really there. I guess laser raptors must have infinite ammo because, yeah, they have infinite ammo, which I wasn't also even aware of. Really just a lot of laser shots going off. Here you can see the lone op put on the raid suit. So the raid suit has 65% damage reduction to basically everything except radiation, and the helmet also has 15% damage reduction. So they basically went from like a 55 or so % damage reduction somewhere to like 71. I don't remember the exact math. I see people who aren't armed. I mean, I guess that's technically the clown. You can't really do anything about it. Here we see a bit of a melee scuffle. The lone op injected their Hyperzine syringe. They're in their massively high damage reduction armor and just sprinting through people, cutting them down with the E-sword. Just look at the amount of bullets they tanked, and they are still doing rather well in health. And apparently that person was infected because they get right back up and start biting immediately. A little bit of a fight with the Laser Raptor. Laser Raptor looked like they were probably 1 or 2 hits away from death, but the operator was also at max bleed stacks. You can see them popping a burn auto injector for the lasers, brute auto injector for the bullet damage. The crew is trying to deal with the zombie apocalypse while also dealing with the lone ops. I mean, just look at the massive pile of bodies. This is on Saltern, which is a small station. So the fact that we're seeing this much combat and chaos just in this small area is pretty crazy. Laser Raptor's still waiting for the lone op to come out. And then, of course, there's a space dragon because there's never a shortage of shit going wrong in survival. Here, you notice how many bullets they just tanked? I'll spectate them. they're still only at poor health, even though they hit max bleed stacks. So they absolutely would have died without that raid suit. So this is the first example of a video I've seen of a raid suit actually saving a Nukie's life. If they did not wear this raid suit in the station, they would have been dead. Especially from bleed out. If I just move around, you can still see officers fighting zombies, people suffocating to death from lack of atmos. I mean, there's unfire zombified pun-puns in the middle of fucking medbay, dead carp, lube everywhere, people can't move, can't walk. Liltenhead has healed up as much as they could. They are suffering extreme blood loss. There's just no real easy way of recovering blood as a lone ops. You don't have access to anything that recovers blood, I believe, without looting. They swap back to their hard suit because the station's atmos is just not doing good. Everything's spaced, and like, yeah, spacing doesn't do a whole lot of damage, but they still have to hold the nuke for a whole 3 minutes, and they can't, like, they have to hold the nuke for 3 minutes plus arming it plus the time after if they want to live. And like, yeah, you could literally tank that with just some medical items, but they are short on it. So going back to the blood red is definitely the right option here. I'm not even like entirely sure what was happening here. Like, they're like slipping on the client side, spectator, having to shoot their fallen comrades while the lone op is dropping smoke grenades. The laser raptor has finally died. They got zombified at some point. Like, it's just... I'm sorry for the audio spam. Spectator unfortunately spams out. Nukie, after taking even more bullets from security, has regrouped at the bridge, found a first aid kit. Using that first aid kit to, well, heal. It's a pretty crazy commentary moment. The nuke has been armed, and the zombies get attracted to that. See some zombified carp, you see some zombified people wearing suits. If anything, the Nukie at this point is doing Nanotristan a favor. I don't think Nanotristan would want this station after this. Cindy Bar is so placed. Even the dragon is going for a defuse at this point, but they're a zombie, and I don't even think a normal dragon could defuse. But just look at the amount of zombies storming the bridge right now. Nukie doing probably the smartest thing they could do at this point, and that's just zombies can't get you in space. The auto shuttle just got called because so much of the crew has been infected at this point. Dragon is looking for the lone op, but they're never going to really be able to quite catch them in space. Infinite Antique Laser Pistol, probably the strongest weapon in the game against a horde of zombies. Zombies don't do good against heat, and it's, well, infinite ammo and hit scan. And it doesn't really have the same, like, lag that the bullets do with traveling. Zombie Dragon actually managing to get out into space to try to shoot a fireball, but the Nukie just has a lot more DPS in general. The Zombie Dragon's never going to land a bite. They also are just heavier, plus they just straight up disappear right here. I remember being confused watching this live, but without their rifts being placed, they just straight up disappeared. So that also means, unfortunately, that anyone they ate just disappears as well, but like no one was going to revive them in this situation anyway, so it don't matter. Take another look at the nuke. There's really just no one left. There's zombies just floating away, pretty much all dead. The countdown has started, basically pointing the sign of no return. Monkey was actually waiting in ambush here. Manages to get a few bites in. I don't know if they got infected from this. Not like it would matter. They wouldn't turn from their infection before the nuke detonated. But that was a pretty sneaky little monkey play there. See another group of zombies pushing to the nuke specifically. Zombies mechanically can't affect the nuke, so it does not matter. Zombie taking many C20 shots, not quite dead though. Even the zombified Vermilia is trying to get the last few bites in, but too tanky, not enough time, and that will be it. At their point, they just fly away from the station. They have Again, honestly, done Nanotrust in a favor. I don't think they'd want this fucking station again. That is the end of this story. That is the first time I've actually ever seen a lone ops nuke successfully that wasn't through admin and intervention, even though there was kind of some admin stuff going on here, but I don't know what it was. It didn't seem to directly affect combat anyway. Anyways, thank you for watching.